First of all, this has been 4 years of a challenge, but at the end of the day, it's what is best for the city of Edmonton. We will have a brand new arena with the Oilers, which is one of the most valuable assets of this city, staying in our city for 35 years. And it will be an iconic building for downtown, which will help spur a great deal of development. And in the end, there'll be great benefit. And I'd like to speak to the younger generation of Edmontonians who are so passionate in support of this and thank them, and also many older people. But this is about building a future for tomorrow. We're building a city that sees and wants its younger generation to see this as a place for them to build their tomorrows. I think this is a project of tomorrows. And I think those who support it in council see that. For whatever reasons and however they decide to do it, that's up to them. But this is going to be a tremendous project. I would like to give Darryl credit for his passion about architecture and design. This project has cost a lot of money, but because it was his passion to have a building that was special. And I think I would have, even though I have used the word crap about design, would have probably settled for less because we could have built it for less expensive. But his passion for designing and building something that will stand the test of time, that will make Edmonton a very special place when people come here for people to see, we have to give him great credit for that. And it's his passion about this city that's made that difference. And so I want to thank him while it's in public, and thank him for putting up a tremendous amount of money too, which people have forgotten along this way. So, Darryl, would you like to say something?
Well, thank you, Stephen. I'd like to start by saying I'm sorry I couldn't be at today's council meeting. As everybody knows, it came up on relatively short notice, and I have commitments out of the city that I just couldn't break. In our view, today's news is about Edmonton's future and the role that this whole project can play in driving investment in our city and spurring the ongoing revitalization of our downtown core. And we said at the outset that this is a once-in-a-generation opportunity, and I truly believe that. It's also about putting the Oilers where they belong, which is in the center of our city and at the heart of our community. And I can't tell you how exciting it is for me and everybody at Cates Group to think about having 20,000 people downtown night after night enjoying a game or going to a concert or some other event, and the opportunity that creates for existing businesses downtown, as well as new shops and restaurants and all of our cultural institutions like the Art Gallery and the Citadel and so on. Now, it's been a long road for everyone involved in this project, myself included. But the result today is a landmark agreement that enables our city to move forward in an enormously positive way. And I would like to thank Mayor Mandel, who in my view is a visionary. This deal would not have happened without the mayor's support. I'd like to thank the city administration and members of council for the extraordinary time and effort that they've given to this project to finally get it over the goal line. I think it's also important to extend a special thank you to the Capital Region Board for stepping up when our city really needed them. And of course, above all, I would like to thank the people of the city of Edmonton for their support of this project. And if not the project, then for everybody's support of the Oilers. With that, Stephen.
Thank you, Darryl. We'll have questions, so if anybody has a question, you can either direct it to myself, Mr. Firebrother, Mr. Vallis, or Mr. Cates. So, you've waited 4 years. The clicking of the cameras interfered with the phone. That's all. You can take. I mean, how many pictures you need of the phone, I don't know, but you know, there are really not that many. A phone is a phone. Anyway, questions.
Can somebody speak to the timing of the offer to put the extra $15 million in by the Cates Group?
It's right away. It's in accordance with the construction. So it's over 3 years.
When they made the decision to...
Oh, we've been discussing it with them for the last couple of days. And they were very responsive and, I've got to say, tremendously cooperative. no strings, nothing. Just let's get on with this project. So it meant an awful lot, and I think it meant a lot to some councilors as well, too. It was a big step when you consider how much they're committing to now, but it is cash, no conditions.
Mr. Cates, can you tell us why you decided to put the extra funds into the deal?
Well, from the outset, you know, this has been a partnership between us and the city, and that's how we approached the last piece of the puzzle. And it was apropos after, you know, working together for the last 4 or 5 years on this deal that you know, the final hurdle was something we had to cross together.
Next question.
Mr. Cates, were you feeling any pressure to get a deal done as quickly as possible?
Well, I think that everybody was feeling pressure. You know, this was not an easy deal. A lot of people within the city and certainly within our group have worked countless and endless hours to make this happen. So I think, you know, it's fair to say everybody felt a bit of pressure.
Mr. Mandel, what would you say about some of the councilors are concerned about the amount of borrowing the money? What would your response to that be?
Well, the money is secured money from revenues that will flow as a result of the arena. So it's the ticket tax, it's revenue the Cates are responsible for, it's money that we're generating from our CRL and money we're generating from internal revenues from the various venues around and in the arena area. So it's not tax-based, it's revenue-based. So I don't think there's a concern about that. I think it's if you look at the CRL and how it works and how the cash flows, it's a pretty stable source of revenue, and it really is a matter of maybe a little less now, but a little more later. I don't think it's any danger whatsoever.
So there are no contingencies now. How confident, I mean, is there a plan, not a plan B, what are we on? Plan F squared for if the Capital Region Board money doesn't flow from the province?
Well, it's always positive of you, Paula, to come up with the positive questions. It's always great to see you do that.
It is a positive question.
Yeah.
I mean,
no,
it is.
I think that you know, we're optimistic they will, and you know, we're entitled to the money. It's money that passed. The City of Edmonton's entitled to their fair share of it. We would expect the province to put it forward.
Mayor Mandel, obviously shifting money from MSI to CRL provided a great deal of comfort to a number of councillors. Why did it take so long to get to that, essentially for that light bulb to come on?
I don't know, you'd have to, you know, we originally did the $3 million MSI because that's what the Premier had said was this raison d'etre for us to show that we were to invest money through the province, and so that's why we did it. At the time, councillors could have suggested that. We would have been more than happy to support that. It would have been easier to do it that way, but you know, you kind of go down a path and you ask a question this way. Sometimes you don't get the other direction.
Mr. Cates, I'm surprised my colleagues are not asking you more questions since you don't talk usually, but what do you want to say to citizens, people who are still skeptical of the seal? What kind of, you know, reassurances can you offer them now that the seal has been approved?
Well, look, there's always going to be some element of the population that's not happy with any particular deal. So, you know, I think what I can say is we've done the best we can from the outset, and we're thrilled that this deal has finally been approved. And as we've said, we believe this is a once-in-a-generation opportunity for the City of Edmonton, a landmark, you know, agreement to proceed with a transformational project, both for the City of Edmonton and the Capital Region.
Mayor, what's the timeline now? So how early can construction start?
Yesterday, about 4:30.
When will
you know,
open?
they're going through the process of designing, about 60% done.
Yeah, we're close to.
About 60% done. They'll be reporting back. I mean, there's still a budget we all have to work towards, which seems to be in line, and so you know, that'll be hopefully sooner than later. You know, I'd like to put.
Can I ask you?
Just, hey,
sorry.
I'm not quite finished yet, if it's okay with you.
It's okay with me.
Thank you. We'd like to put now that this is where to stay, I would sure like to see us put a great big sign on the property that says future home of the Oilers, and I guess, I'm assuming this is with an assumption on my part, future home of Rexall Place and the Oilers, but that's not my decision. So I'd like to hope we get that on. I'm sorry, then go ahead.
Sorry. Mr. Case, I was wondering, there's been some debate about the Gretzky statue. What are your thoughts on that, and is that something you might want to move to the Stoop facility?
Well, you know, as with this partnership, you know, that's something we'll, I'm sure, discuss with the city, and, you know, we'll make a decision that's in everybody's best interest, you know.
What would you project for shovel in the ground?
You know, sooner than later. You know, a lot of it is dependent upon when we get the fixed price where everybody's comfortable with it. So,
It was once mentioned August is why that.
well, I think that's a bit premature.
Like next
You know,
year? You think, or-
I would hope early next year, if not sooner. But you know, let's let that process take its steps. You know, things are now fixed in place, and then they'll move forward in an orderly manner. But that's what we have to make sure we have the right price, and so everybody's secure with it.
Now that the arena's approved, are you gonna run in October?
Oh, I don't know. I'll let you know. I'll let you know.
Is this 100%? I feel a sense of deja vu asking.
No, it's not. This is actually 100%. Council waived the conditions. We're moving ahead, and I cannot imagine why the province wouldn't support this.
And I think, I fully agree with
Yeah.
that. I think Darrell does too.
Yeah, everybody agrees. This is, and I think here are some of the wonderful words some of the councillors talked about today. They're committed to it as well too, and I think we just need to move on. And you know, it's fascinating. You know, you take a look at all the things we do in the city. I'm always amazed that when we have a new recreation center opening up, which we spent $150 million on, we have 3 reporters there and maybe a guy from the newspaper, 3 TVs and newspaper. Every time this issue comes up, there's a ton of people, and that's why it's so important to the city of Edmonton. One has to only see that the salience and the importance of the Oilers and this facility to Edmonton. It's because of you look at the media coverage. It's quite remarkable. I'm always amazed that there's so many of you coming out to this stuff. So if you have no further questions, Darrell, thank you. Oh,
Thanks for the thanks.
Oh, hold
I just
it.
had one follow-up question. You said we have to, when you're talking about shovels in the ground, we have to come up with the right price or the right.
well, we have a
budget.
budget. You've been to the meetings. We have a budget. It's $480 million. They're going.
Still in.
Well, we don't think it
talks,
is, but no, there's nothing in talks. But you have to get a price, and so that price is $480 million that they're working towards. And PCL is a contractor. They're not going to say, flip a coin. Oh my gosh, it might or might not be. They have to be sure it is. They're working towards that,
So
and they'll have
the
that done.
numbers we talked about today aren't totally fixed yet.
Well, no, the numbers are fixed. The $480 million is fixed. F-I-X-E-D. Don't start going there and trying to make something out of that that's not. Go ahead.
As a cap.
As a cap.
That's the maximum.
We could do it lower, which is nice.
Mr. Cates, Mayor Mandel praised your work on the design. What would you say you offered to the design, and what do you think of the design? What would you tell us about your thoughts on how this arena is going to turn out and look at this point?
Well, you know, we've been involved in every step of the design process as of the city, you know, the administration. So I think it really is, you know, kind of a team project here, and I think everybody should be given, you know, a lot of credit for coming up with something that is going to be really special and stand the test of time.
How do you think it compares to arenas that are going to be built, that have been built around the world?
Well, I think our objective from the outset, from the leadership report, was to build a world-class facility, and I think that's exactly what we're going to build.
I was just in Brooklyn and saw their facilities that cost over $1 billion. It does not hold a candle to what ours looks like, or what the inside of ours is going to look like. I mean, the one that's going to be built here is absolutely magnificent, and I think Edmontonians will be incredibly proud of it. And as I say, the one now, Brooklyn, the land restrictions, they didn't have as much land to work with, but ours is going to be very, very special. And I look forward to the day that the first puck is dropped, and Mr. Bettman, who has been a great friend of ours, can be out and with Darrell and drop that puck. So any other questions?
Considering Air Canada Centre redesigned after they started construction, It was going to be basketball only, and they went, oh.
Well, we're sure we're hockey.
No.
We're not getting any, I guarantee you, we're not going to get an NBA franchise here. Unless, Daryl, you're going to get an NBA franchise.
But how quickly can you get going if you're still designing?
Well, the price, it's the price. You get going tomorrow morning if the price is you can get a guaranteed price. City Council has been very clear about that it's 480 million, so is the K Street. So that's the price. We have to have that guarantee, and that's, getting closer and closer every day, and if we could do it tomorrow morning, we do it tomorrow morning. But that's up to PCL and the two teams to come up with those numbers. It's not council's decision. We've given our direction, and they'll be able to reach that number.
Mr. Cates, can you just talk about the private sector development? How much more confident are you today at this point that what you have planned private sector-wise will happen now?
Well, we've been working hard on the private sector side all the way through this process, and nothing happens without the arena, of course. So I think this will give us, obviously greater momentum to finalize and move forward with various aspects of the private sector side of the deal.
You have some projects that would be sort of pending on this vote, Daryl, at the hotel?
Well, I think, the whole project was, waiting for this vote. So I think now all of the planning that we've done for several years can finally move to, the next phase that will be really, productive for the whole project.
Okay. Anything else? Everybody cool? Thanks all. Thank you very much. But I would like to acknowledge all my council colleagues who supported this. They had a lot of courage and took a lot of flack. But the flack came from a small group of people. The vast number of people support this. Thank you all very much.